Hi, this is Paolo, and I would like to invite you to a futuristic and groundbreaking conference in Silicon Valley. As you can probably tell from my accent, I'm not from Nebraska. Actually, I was born here, Syracuse, a city on the islands of Sicily. I was born into a family of modest means. My father was a mechanic and my mom was an housewife. Despite our lack of wealth, my father taught me math, science and engineering in my early years, and my mom would really literally do anything to get me graduated from a northern Italian university. So I chose to become a mad scientist at the age of 5. And through many difficulties, some financial struggle, I eventually earned my PhD in physics and I officially became a mad scientist. I now run a small organization. It builds intelligent software to enable small businesses to be more efficient. But also, I organize courses and conferences on technology, science and product management for business people. Thanks to my mom, I was able to finance my education, and soon after, I found myself in beautiful Chicago working for the United States government as a scientist at the National Laboratory. During that time, I really partied like it was 1999, and I met a lot of people. I still believe that was the greatest time of my life, and I become more and more attracted to materialistic possession. I would say, I guess I was becoming a true American. Over the course of the next few years, I would transition from science to business. I took an MBA from one of the most prestigious American universities, and I made my transition into Silicon Valley. But all of that really changed when my mom had a major setback. This is known as immunologic rejection. I truly spent countless hours studying transplant immunology, and I searched for all kinds of experimental cures. I finally come to the realization that we didn't have the technology on this very planet to save her. So the story is my mom fought really hard for several more months, but in the end she lost her battle. Her passing made me reflect. Particularly, I reflected upon our current level of technology development. Why didn't we have a technology to save her? And more broadly, why do we still need to transplant organs? Why we're not able to grow them or regenerate them? So, as unlikely as it might seem, the kind of thinking led me to take a look to the world of aliens and UAPs. With a great scientific curiosity, actually. I began watching YouTube videos and following blogs and websites about all kinds of extraterrestrial matters. I quickly evolved from watching YouTube to watching real documentaries on Amazon, Gaia, and Netflix. And then I took my research, I'd say, to a much deeper level. I started reading books and papers and some of the rare but existing scientific publications on this very subject. And I have come to the conclusion that we might not be alone in this universe. I find this notion to be very comforting because think of it, wouldn't it be fun to be in a spacecraft with an alien? Actually, astronomers, astrophysicists, Navy pilots, futurists, science fiction writers, movie directors, and thousands of people who saw something in the skies tell us that there is something out there. There are beings from faraway planets who have already contacted us. Beginning in the earlier 1960s, reports of alien abductions and UFOs became commonplace. All of these personal accounts were quickly dismissed as nonsense by the government, the media, and moreover by the scientific community. Movie and TV franchises like Star Wars and Star Trek made the unimaginable seem almost commonplace. Prolific science fiction writers like Isaac Asimov and Frank Herbert created fantastic alien civilizations that made us wonder if we would be so likely to ever meet such strange extraterrestrials. And the iconic and widely popular TV show The X-Files took things to an entirely another level. So in the 60s and the 70s, amid the backdrop of the space race between the United States and the Soviet Union, there was always a glimmer of hope that contact might be made. By the 1990s, the new Hubble Space Telescope offered us a better chance of finding planets suitable for alien life. Today, we can look 100 times farther into the cosmos. But maybe we needed to look that far, because I believe it's possible that we have made contact right here on planet Earth and on other planets in the solar system. Even in the halls of Congress and the Pentagon, the once verboten subject of alien contact is now a subject of great interest. Now it's the perfect time for a robust conversation about our future, a future that may include extraterrestrial influence. Now it's the time for great minds to be heard. And now it's the time for the first Silicon Valley Secret Space Program Business Application Conference. As I got deeper and deeper into this controversial arena, it was difficult to make sense of it all. The government cover-ups, the UFO crashes, the cattle mutilations, the crop cycles, and the testimonies of hundreds of people who not only claim that they encountered actual aliens, but also that they were poked and probed by them. Although I had become certain that there was something true behind all these many reports, I still could not find a unified theory. Until one day, I came across one particular video on YouTube. His name is Jean-Charles Moyhan, a French soldier who claims to be part of the secret space program. At first, I thought this guy must be crazy. But I couldn't stop really watching him. His demeanor was calm and professional, and he spoke candidly about his experiences rescuing people and also other alien beings from captivity and slavery. But really, was there such a thing as a secret space force and a secret space program? Fact is, in the following days, I started ordering books, and within the next few weeks, I guess I discovered over 20 witnesses who claimed the same thing. There really was a secret space program. Basically, my research then took me to Elena Danaan, a woman who has some amazing stories to tell. She apparently has experienced contact with numerous civilizations and speaks to their leaders on a regular basis. Now, as crazy as all of this seems, her alien encounters made perfect logical sense. Within that interview with an alien leader, I finally found the unified theory that puts all this stuff together. The UIPs, the military cover-ups, the abductions, the cattle mutilations, secret bases in Antarctica, and those popular documentaries about extraterrestrials helping ancient civilizations. Granted, Elena's stories may be highly speculative, but in my humble opinion, there are truths there that need to be explored. And you can explore them with me at the upcoming Silicon Valley Secret Space Program Business Application Conference. Obviously, you would think my scientific background, grounded in careful observation and tethered to rigorous skepticism, will make me immune to all this fantastical talk about such things as wormholes and organ regeneration. But it is impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows. And Albert Einstein's famous saying also came to my mind: logic will take you from A to B. Imagination will take you anywhere. I began to think about the possibility of hyper-advanced human and alien collaborations in science and technology, and how they could be applied to business and commerce here on planet Earth. So I decided to bring together the witnesses from the Secret Space Program and the scientists, the entrepreneurs, to discuss what we might be able to do with all this new information. Think of this. At the very least, the 400 UIP incidents verified in a recent Pentagon public disclosure might shine a light on technology we used to think as merely science fiction. These revelations could have a far-reaching consequence for technology and business. For example, we now know that it's possible to fly at 50,000 kilometers per hour. That's roughly 28,000 miles per hour. We could infer that alternative energy source is powering this kind of flying saucers. From the reports of some of the witnesses of the Secret Space Program, we can in fact, or at least infer, a totally new way to look at science and technology. Despite a lot of divisions you see in the public discourse today, the fact remains that most people want the same things: a good life, the love of family and close friends, a cleaner planet, a nice place to live, and a better future for our children. We want our life to have some meaning and higher purpose. This is ingrained in our collective experience as Earthlings. So the accounts of these advanced civilizations, although frightening and at times very, very hard to believe, offer us a once-in-a-generation opportunity to create a different and more hopeful future. A future where we dare the improbable to achieve the impossible. I believe that business and entrepreneurship is the vehicle through which substantial new ideas can be brought to fruition. At this conference, you will gain a tangible understanding of the experiences of those who have had the chance to witness incredible things. But that's not all. You will also become a vital part of a conversation about where we go from here. A conversation where scientists, engineers, futurists, and entrepreneurs will contribute their thoughts and insights into how remarkable the business of the future can be. But also, how great the future of mankind as a whole can be as well. Yes, it is difficult to challenge our traditional ways of thinking and to open our minds to new possibilities. It's better to change an opinion than to persist in a wrong one. Although it may be hard to challenge our system of beliefs, as someone once said, we choose to do the hard things.
We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other thing, not because they are easy, but because they are hard.
I believe this conference will be a conduit for changing and challenging our assumptions. It will be an opportunity to shake up the status quo and our own ideas of what is possible. The future is now, so I hope you join me at the conference in Silicon Valley. See you soon.